Joe Biden continues to send mixed messages on face masks. Liz Cheney appears to be gone from her House leadership position. Plus, the CIA gets woke with this new recruitment video. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great week. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start with Joe Biden because he is sending some mixed messages on face masks. It's clear he doesn't understand the science, and unless he forgets, he doesn't understand the optics as well, the messaging of what he's doing when he's out in public and what he's doing with his face masks. He's been all over the place. Recall when Texas dropped its mask mandates and said businesses can reopen at full capacity. Well, did the world end? No. Hospitalizations went down. Cases went down. Deaths went down. Everything was fine. Yet it was Texas, so Joe Biden had to blast it with this message.
I think it's a big mistake. Look, I hope everybody's realized by now, these masks make a difference. We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult American to get a shot. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime, everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it.
So that's Joe Biden on the Texas mask mandate. But then just last week, the CDC announced new guidelines, new permissions for you and me, saying that if you're outside now and you're not around a lot of people, you don't need to wear a mask. Well, Joe Biden made that announcement, and here's Biden.
Good afternoon. This beautiful afternoon.
So he's telling people that they are now granted permission by the government that they can be outside without a mask if they're not around anyone. How does he announce it? He announces it with a mask outside and not around anyone. It makes no sense. Then, just a few days ago, he was visiting the Carter Center. He and Jill Biden were visiting Jimmy and Rosalyn Carter, who are 96 and 93 years old. Here's what the Carter Center tweeted. We're pleased to share this wonderful photo from the President and First Lady's visit to see the Carters in Plains, Georgia. Thank you, President and Mrs. Biden. Actually, I think you're supposed to say Dr. Jill Biden, or the media has an absolute meltdown. Just a word of advice for the Carter Center. But here's the deal. All right, so those new CDC guidelines say that if you're in a small group indoors and you're fully vaccinated, you don't need a mask. So we'll assume all of them are fully vaccinated. Didn't need a mask for this. Recall, it's a Carter Center picture, all right? Not the mass media following them around. Carter Center photograph that they did. They didn't have any problem taking their mask off. But then when Joe Biden's leaving and the regular media are outside, check out Joe Biden. So inside, no mask. Outside, with TV cameras, we put the mask on. We're walking outside. We're by ourselves. We're fully vaccinated. And he's got the masks on for the TV camera. What kind of message does that send? It's all over the place. Then yesterday from the White House, Biden gave us a COVID update, a vaccine update, and he said this about masks.
Masks have needlessly divided this country. Masking, as directed, is a patriotic duty.
Masks have needlessly divided the country. Well, here's the thing. Of course it has, because the masks are being used for optics and not science. The other day, the Bidens were at an elementary school. These poor kids at their desks surrounded by plexiglass wearing masks all day long. Human beings were not designed to wear masks all day long, to breathe like that. Yet these poor kids have them on all day long. The Bidens are fully vaccinated and they're standing there with their masks on. None of that picture shows anything about science. The little kids don't get COVID. They don't spread COVID. They don't need masks on. Fully vaccinated people don't need masks on. And yet there it was for the TV, for those optics, which sends this message. And then the Bidens wonder why there's vaccine hesitancy. Well, it sure looks like it doesn't work if everyone is still wearing a mask. But that's Joe Biden, and that's his mask message. All right, let's talk about Liz Cheney. But first, if you're new to the show or haven't subscribed yet, regardless of platform, just search out my name, hit that subscribe button, make sure notifications are turned on. That way you can follow the show and help us grow. All right, so let's talk about Liz Cheney, folks, because it has been an interesting few months. If you recall, she was one of 10 House members to vote to impeach the president back in January. This led to a huge uproar. People in the House caucus wanted her out. The Wyoming Republican Party voted to censure her. So they had a vote. They had a vote in the House caucus. Kevin McCarthy actually spoke in favor of Liz Cheney. She survived the ouster. She held on to that position. But there was kind of a condition to say, let's move on. Let's talk about unity and stop focusing on Trump and other Republicans. Well, that's exactly what she did not do. She continues to blast President Trump, continues to blast other Republicans. She's bound to have primary opposition next time around from one candidate, if not several candidates. But the thing is, will she survive this round and hold on to her House leadership position? Doesn't look likely. And here's the story. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy wants his party to stand firmly with Donald Trump despite his long-standing claims about the election being stolen from him. Number 3 GOP leader Liz Cheney is trying to steer the party far from the former president's claims about his defeat, charting a future without him. The party, it became more apparent Tuesday, does not have room for both. Cheney's political future was increasingly in peril as McCarthy signaled he would no longer protect his lieutenant from those seeking her ouster from House GOP leadership, opening the possibility of a vote to remove her from the job as soon as next week. One Republican granted anonymity to discuss the situation said simply, she's toast. Liz Cheney is toast. And I tell you what, even without that quote, my thought is that she is gone from this leadership position. And why? Just look at the comments from Kevin McCarthy, who was asked about the Cheney situation.
I have heard from members concerned about her ability to carry out the job as conference chair, to carry out the message. We all need to be working as one if we're able to win the majority. Remember, majorities are not given, they are earned. And that's about the message about going forward. I haven't heard members concerned about her vote on impeachment. It's more concerned about the job ability to do and what's our best step forward that we can all work together instead of attacking one another.
So friends, just my opinion, but knowing Kevin McCarthy, if he's out there publicly saying that, it is a done deal. She is gone. Look for someone else to step in very, very soon. Here's more. One top Republican congressional aide said McCarthy had weeks ago urged Cheney to stop talking about Trump, and her failure to do so has boosted frustration with her. McCarthy, who delivered a speech supporting her when House Republicans privately voted to keep her in February, will not do that this time, said the aide, who spoke on condition of anonymity to describe internal conversations. A vote on whether to remove her could occur as early as next Wednesday when House Republicans are scheduled to meet. Interviews with half a dozen lawmakers and aides from across the party's ideological spectrum found none saying it's likely she will survive the challenge. They cited her abandonment by McCarthy and her persistence in criticizing Trump. So that's Liz Cheney. And for all of those who are crying out there that this tension is going to damage the party, relax. It won't. If she's ousted and we have someone that is focused on the message, that is a good thing. We have plenty of time to get things together, get our strategy together, get our messaging together to prepare for the 2022 elections. What we need right now is people committed to that goal, committed to spreading the right message and staying on message. Liz Cheney has shown that she is not that person. She can't stay on message if you paid her. She goes off to attack President Trump, attack other Republicans. That is what is not needed. Clean house now, get on message. We can win in 2022. All right, so next, let's talk about the CIA because, folks, they have joined the wokeness generation. It seems like everything, government departments, corporate America, sports teams, they're going woke. They don't care about delivering a quality product anymore, a quality good, quality service. All they care about is how woke they are. And now the CIA is joining in. They have put a recruitment video together that is just, it's nothing like you've ever seen. It is wokeness on steroids. And here's the story. A new recruitment video from the CIA is being mocked online by conservatives as being too woke after it featured a Latina American officer who described herself as cisgender and intersectional. The CIA released the video as part of its Humans of CIA recruitment campaign on March 25th, but it gained attention on Twitter after the agency tweeted a shorter clip. If you're a Chinese communist or an Iranian mullah or Kim Jong-un, would this scare you? Republican Senator Ted Cruz tweeted. We've come a long way from Jason Bourne. Friends, the CIA is supposed to be about spy stuff. Tough, stealthy, skilled, smart, all of that. But no, the CIA is going in a different direction. They think now it's more important to attract that left-wing hipster crowd. Here is part of their recruitment video.
I'm a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box-checking exercise.
What? She says she's not a box-checking exercise, but then just went down and checked all her boxes. And maybe on a side note, maybe it's just me, but someone with generalized anxiety disorder, do we want them to be a CIA officer? Do we want that out there? Do we want to hire this person? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think that really fits with being a spy. But she wasn't done yet. Here's more.
I used to struggle with imposter syndrome, but at 36, I refuse to internalize misguided patriarchal ideas of what a woman can or should be. I am tired of feeling like I'm supposed to apologize for the space I occupy.
Are you kidding me? Imposter syndrome, plus a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't even know what she's talking about because I'm just not woke enough. But that's the CIA. That's their angle now. That's their recruitment video. I guess they think they're going to strike fear in the other ice mocha drinking, plaid wearing, paper straw using spies around the world. That's the CIA. So next, let's talk about what's going on in the Derek Chauvin trial. It's over. Their verdict has been done. He was convicted on 3 counts, but the story has not gone away because many people think that there's going to be a new trial because this one was not fair. It was not due process. It was not a proper trial. Did he get a fair trial? Whether he's guilty or innocent, that is the question. I don't think he did because the jury was never sequestered. This has been a media circus, yet until those final 2 days of actual deliberation, the jury could go home. They could watch TV. They could be influenced by all the mob out there that was saying Derek Chauvin was already guilty. Joe Biden came out and said it. Maxine Waters went out there inciting violence. Remember this clip?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
So other high-profile people have done the same thing, but it wasn't just the lack of sequestering the jury. Now one of the jurors is in trouble, and it may put that verdict in jeopardy. Here's the story. A juror in the Derek Chauvin murder trial attended the March on Washington anniversary last summer, which is drawing online speculation about his motives for serving on the trial and could become grounds for an appeal. In recent days, a photo of Brandon Mitchell that was originally posted on social media around the August 28th event commemorating Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech began circulating online and on multiple news sites. Many commentators online questioned his motive and its potential to fuel an appeal in Chauvin's case. So that rally in March included members of George Floyd's family and Mitchell wearing a t-shirt that said, "Get your knee off our necks." Here's more. The event included advocating for racial justice, increasing voter registration, pushing for a new version of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and urging participation in the 2020 census. It also focused on police use of force. Floyd's brother and sister, Philonise and Bridget Floyd, and family members of others who have been shot by police addressed the crowd. Mitchell said he answered no to 2 questions in the juror questionnaire sent out before jury selection that asked about participation in demonstrations. The first question asked, "Did you or someone close to you participate in any of the demonstrations or marches against police brutality that took place in Minneapolis after George Floyd's death?" The second asked, Other than what you have already described above, have you or anyone close to you participated in protests about police use of force or police brutality? All right, friends, so what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think he was guilty or innocent? And also, more importantly, I think, do you think he received a fair trial? Let me know in the comments. Folks, that's our show for today. But before you go, if you're new to the show or haven't subscribed yet, regardless of platform, just search out my name, hit that subscribe button, make sure notifications are turned on. That way you can follow the show and help us grow. All right, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.